Hi guys, it's Unleashed Code and welcome to another video. This is me trying my hand at Arma 3. Now, I've been looking for a game that I wanted to play which is a kind of simulated role but very multiplayer intensive, and I think I have found what I am looking for. So far, very impressed with Arma 3. This is me actually just going on transport missions. What I'm trying to do is trying to become a useful, I would like to say successful, but we'll go with useful to start with, helicopter pilot. And ferry some chappies out to the battlefield and pick up people from the battlefield and drop in supplies, and even at some point maybe become an effective CAS, close air support that is, over the battlefield and not shoot up friendlies. Anyway, this is just a mission that basically just gives you transport spots. Gives you green smoke. As we can see, we're just coming up to a slot here in the town, and you got to land, pick up soldiers, drop off soldiers, head to the next landing zone. Now the LZs, some are hot, some aren't. It's just randomly generated, but this is really just for me to practice flying. I'm in a Hummingbird at the moment, so yeah, just get in, land, get out, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Now when I say that's pretty much all there is to it, I've probably done now, I've been flying for probably about, well, I've played the game for 20 hours, and I'd say flying that I've probably done 8, maybe 10 hours, half of that time. The other half of the time's been set up. I've also been trying to set up my head tracking, which is really not going so well in Arma 3. You can see I'm using it in here, but oh, we're under some fire there as well. As you can see, I haven't quite mastered it. It sort of doesn't seem to recenter properly. There's actually, when you build up speed in Arma 3, it kind of zooms out. You get this, there you go, you can see that I'm sort of zooming back and getting pushed back into my seat in the cockpit, and it does provide some problems with centralizing the tracking. I believe that's what the problem is anyway, so I'm having to reset my head tracking quite a lot and just get used to the helo as well. It's kind of a bit too much all in one go to take in. Anyway, other than that, the controls are fairly intuitive. I'm using an X55 Rhino by Cytec, so I've got collective on throttle sticks and cyclic on main analog stick, and a ton of buttons I've also assigned obviously for ropes and hook for picking up stuff as well. Not that we're doing any of that in this mission, but just so you know, I mean, here's another green smoke just ahead, which we're heading to. We're just going to go pick up some soldiers here, and yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm finding it a bit hard. I've just totally overflown that site. Actually, that's not the place that we're supposed to be going. It's just green smoke on the floor there. Anyway, our LZ's further. That's why I'm checking the map. Hey? That's what the map's there for. Yeah, it's, you know, it's taking some time. It's not as easy as I thought it is. And I tell you what, I've joined up on a server called cannonfodder.org, and they're accepting applications now. If you're interested in joining up, send in an application. I got mine accepted. I'm thoroughly over the moon. The guys who are on there are really patient, really nice guys. I felt pretty welcome. I've only joined one other server, and it really wasn't I wouldn't say it was a nasty experience. I'm not going to say it's a bad experience. It was just these guys were deadly serious. I was a newbie. They didn't want me around because they had some pretty intensive missions going on. I can understand that. I can understand that. Now I've played a bit and seen how intense and how difficult, and how just one shot, one kill, you know, one bad decision, one newbie decision could actually change the entire scenario on the battlefield. I can understand that they didn't want me around. So I took that on board. I didn't really understand at the time, but the minute I joined Cannon Fodder, and I've been doing a couple of missions, and these guys are all about helping you. They're not really about, they're there for a laugh. We all have a good giggle. We also take it semi-seriously, and at the same time I'm getting a ton of help, and that really makes an important server, and especially to start off in a game like this where it's very intensive. I've actually done a few helo missions for them as transport, ferrying in stuff, ferrying in supplies. I will upload some of that gameplay at some point. It really is a different experience, a totally different experience when you actually got crew on board. See, right now I'm just flying AI missions. I'm just going in, picking up smoke. I'm flying fairly well for a newbie, I would say. Within 10-12 hours, I would say I'm doing a pretty grand job. When you've got live players on board and you're getting fired at and you don't really know where you're going, and you'd be instructed to go to these grid references continuously, and they always set you up on hilly terrain that's never like this where it's like a football pitch and it's all clear to come in and land. They're actually setting you up in some really difficult locations, LZs, to get in and out of, and it's down to pilot discretion if you want to set down or not. And that is something I'll talk about a bit later, is Judgement Calls, which I'm finding very hard to learn. I'm sure that will come in time. But yeah, it's a very different thing altogether. And I actually noticed that my first few flights, my hands were freezing cold. They were sweating. I was sweating. It was actually an uncomfortable situation. But only because it was purely intense, and so much counted on me delivering these pilots to the LZs safely. And I wasn't even sure if I was going in the right area. I didn't want to look like a complete dick. Funnily enough, this game brings out the worst in you for that as well. It will just somehow, even if you think you've got it nailed and you've got a big smile in your face, 2 seconds later the shit changes and you're upside down in a tree and everyone's saying, what the fuck happened? So yeah, that's kind of happened a few times. I've been caught out. I had an issue the other day where it was absolutely hysterical. I was actually telling people on my podcast, and they were pissing themselves with it, that I took one of the Black Hawk helicopters, which has got retractable landing gear. I parked it at the top of the hill. It was like one of my first ever squad drop-offs, and I landed it like a baby, right, absolutely perfectly at the top of the hill. And I had forgotten to retract the, put down the landing gear. I forgot that I retracted it. So we all got out, and I was like celebrating, going, hey, I got us here all safely. They were like, yeah, well done, mate, well done, mate. Next thing we know, helicopters rolling down a hill, wiped out the entire squad. Looking like a pretty damn big dick right now. Granted, the guys, they all found it funny. For me, it was rather embarrassing, but hey ho, big lesson right there. Helos without undercarriage, they roll. Even on the flattest of surfaces, they roll over. So this was the top of a hill anyway, so it was guaranteed. I'm under fire here again. Got myself in some rotor wash, managed to blag my way out of it there. Yeah, that's pretty intense when you get rotor washer coming in too high, getting stationary, and then all of a sudden you've lost all your lift. It's keeping forward momentum is the key in flying these helos. As long as you're going forward, you've got some lift and some cyclic control. When you're in a hover, you really need a lot of power just to keep it stationary, and I suppose that is real in real life. I fly loads of RC helicopters, and that's exactly what it's like in real life. But the problem with RC helicopters is power to weight ratios are through the roof. When you're flying an RC heli, you've got a ton of power on the collective. I mean, much more than you'd ever have in a scale helicopter, a full scale helicopter. And yeah, so that's kind of hard to adjust to. But yeah, I just want to share my experience of it. Here I am picking up more troops and off to the next LZ. It all looks easy enough. I mean, I sat there, I watched a load of YouTube videos. I was happy to watch all these YouTube videos, and I looked at them, I was just like, yeah, I can do all that. That's not so hard. That's not so hard. What I didn't realize is yeah, it is a bit harder. The controls are pretty tough. The helis don't really respond the way you want them to respond. That's why I got the head tracking going, because vision is pretty damn critical to the task. And I find the canopy and everything else quite restrictive. As you know, I fly in Falcon BMS with the head tracking on, and I don't think I could fly the F-16 and Falcon BMS without the head tracking. And I think it's pretty much becoming the same way in Arma 3 for the helos as well. You need head tracking, you need to see what's going on around you. It is making a big difference. I just need to get it smoothed out so it centers every time the way I want to center it. And I think that will make my life a lot easier. Overall, guys, really enjoying it. Like I said, Cannon Fodder, great place to be if you're a newbie. Or if you've got experience, they're quite happy to take on experienced guys as well. There's a lot of guys. I mean, one of the guys that is teaching me to fly at the moment, he's extremely experienced. He's got like over 10,000 hours in Arma. He's got about 4,000 hours or something in Arma 3, and about 5,000 in Arma 2 and 1,000 in Arma 1 or something like that. He goes back all the way to the days of Operation Flashpoint and everything else. So he's super experienced, and he's teaching me, and it is making a difference. There's still just so much to learn. And from what I understand is even if you're an experienced helo pilot and you can do it all the time, you're still learning. You still crash. You still make mistakes. You never ever forget the importance of what your job is. And it's pressure continuously, even for an experienced pilot. It's pressure to get people to the LZ safely and make the right judgment calls, which is dropping me back onto the judgment calls again. Quite a lot I've been flown into LZs, which they don't really tell you. They just jump on board and they just say, can you take me to this grid reference, or can you take me to LZ Charlie or whatever, and you've got to find it on the map. Clear it with HQ. HQ will just turn around and say, yeah, you're fine, take off, take them there. And it's really a pilot's discretion and choices which make that flight a safe flight to the destination or not. It's you pull up the map, and if you fly directly to the LZ straight off the map, you're more than likely going to be flying straight over enemy territory the whole frickin' way, and you're going to get all sorts shot at you and everything else. So you actually kind of have to plan a route in. Sometimes you have to plan your route as you're flying. That is something that I'm struggling with at the moment. I find when I pull up the map, I spend too long looking at a map, and I put my helo in very precarious and dodgy places, sometimes 6 foot under. Which isn't cool. So yeah, learning to read the map. I think in time I will learn the map itself. I'll just know it. I'll know what people want to head to, and it will make more sense to me. But as it stands now, I have to really study my route in. I have to really fly around the enemy zone. I have to try and think where the soldiers are. I speak to HQ. I also speak to the ground soldiers and see if I can have any sit rep as to what's going on down on the ground. Just so you can have... I don't really understand everything that's happening down on the ground, but just so I can sort of figure out if the landing zone's clear, or if there's been fire there, if there's snipers around there, or whatever, and then try and make my approach. And sometimes I'll get there and I'll be looking at the LZ and I'm just like, I can't land on that. I don't want to even try. I'm just going to kill everyone. It's pointless. It's all rocky terrain. It doesn't seem to be a good LZ. An experienced pilot may get away with it, but I'm an inexperienced pilot, and it wouldn't be pretty. It wouldn't be pretty. And I've made bad call decisions on it several times before and killed crew over it. Not really a laughing matter, but it's kind of what's happened. So yeah, the judgment calls are quite hard when you're actually in the heat of battles, maybe you're getting shot at, you've got to pretty much quickly figure out if you're facing north, south, east or west, and which direction would be a safe way to egress to a different landing zone that would actually drop the passengers off without here. Here I come through the forest. I was quite chuffed with this little flight through here. It's very satisfying when you fly low through a forest and not lose your rotor. And you know, that's it really. That's all I've got to say about it. I'm loving it. It's really intense. I'm having a good time. But I feel just to join a public server, apart from Cannon Fodder, who are training me at the moment, I don't think I'm up to scratch at all, and I would hate to be responsible for anyone else's virtual lives as such. But I'm definitely enjoying it, without any question of a doubt. So I'll just leave you guys to watch a couple of more minutes of me trying to do these transport missions, and I'll make another video and put that up, and that will be actually of me playing multiplayer, actually being a transport helo pilot, and also I occasionally jump out and go ground as well, ground attack, and that's made for some interesting and fun times too. I've got to say, overall, whatever you decide to do in Arma 3, if you want to be a pilot, if you want to be a ground troop, sniper, whatever, it's just really good fun, and it's super intense, and everything does count. It's not like Battlefield, you just go running around, guns blazing, jump, jump, jump. And some people have like sneaky styles of camping, and some people are guns blazing. No. This is proper military simulator. You all work as a squad, you work very closely and very tightly as a group, or you will not succeed. Simple as that. So there's no one man just running up to an objective. Doesn't happen. One shot, one kill. Simple as that. It's really interesting to see how the battlefield works as well. I'm learning a lot, and I'm loving it, and I'll leave you with that. It's really good fun. Alright guys, thanks for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be doing some more Arma 3 videos without any question of a doubt. And Happy New Year to everyone. I've been kind of quiet for the last couple of weeks. I've done a BMS video, and that's pretty much a Just Cause 3 video as well, but that's pretty much it. And it's I've had a very busy time with family at the moment, lots of things going on. My sister's flown in from Cyprus, she's military herself, so that was kind of nice. So I've spent time with family. Not wanting to neglect you guys, that's for sure. So I will be doing some more missions. Falcon BMS, I'm on a very difficult mission at the moment. I'm actually going to film that again because I've been shot down on the same mission like 2 times in a row. I'm facing lots of enemy SA4s, which are extremely difficult to find on the ground and also attack safely. Anyway, that's another subject. You will get videos. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the vid. Click like if you liked it. Click subscribe if you want to see me wiping out loads of people in Arma 3. Friendlies, unfortunately. Alright, bye bye.